Hey, good Sunday afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. What an amazing day it is. It's been a beautiful, beautiful day. So I hope it's been that way for you. We got some stuff to talk about. First of all, let me tell you that I will be doing my book signing and new book release at Barnes& Noble Friendly Shopping Center on June 2nd at 12 noon. I want all of you, everybody, to come out. I am super excited. I'm excited about the book more than anything. Um, it's the book that I really feel like is gonna change your life. It's gonna bless you, and I am super stoked about the book. But then to be able to do it at Barnes and Noble, that's another thing that really blesses me. God is really opening doors. Thank you, Benny. God has really been opening doors and making some wonderful opportunities for me regarding my writing and so forth and so on. So I am super excited. So I just wanted to put that out there. You guys come, I'll remind you of that when before we get off the air. But let's get into it today. We've spent this month talking about stop being so available. Like we are literally available too much and to the wrong things and to the wrong people. Making yourself available means that you literally you fail to set boundaries, you fail to raise certain standards, and we become too available. We talked about it a little bit last week, but when we become too available to the people, especially people that are users, because I have found out that our society is made up of givers and takers. You have to be careful because takers are going to always take, and there are no limits to those that are takers. They always take for you. And they take your money, they take your time, they take your feelings, emotions, they take your thoughts, so much, so much, so much, and you are left with nothing most of the time. So I encourage you to start setting boundaries, because the takers, they ain't gonna set none. They're gonna always come and take. They're gonna always do that. So I truly, truly, truly encourage you to stop being so available. So again, you guys shared, a couple of you shared last week some things with us, and about how you have changed your mindset about being available. We often think about people when we are available, but I've come to find out that most of us are not as available to people as we are to emotions. And I'm going to say that, hey, Catherine, most of us are not as available to people because people have taught us lessons. Um, they've taught us that, you burn me one time, then I'm not. You use me and I realize you use me, you ain't got to worry about that again. So we tend to learn quicker with people and making ourselves available to people, but there are things that we make ourselves available to that I think that is just as detrimental to our lives and how our lives are experienced than it is when we deal with people. For example, many of us make ourselves too available to worry. Many of us make ourselves too available to fear and to doubt and to negativity, negative talk, and negative emotions. The same wherewithal, the same mindset that it took for you to realize you were being used or misused by a person, you need to take that same mindset and realize that you are being misused or used by your negative emotions. So we are too available. And whenever doubt shows up, you have the authority to say, listen, I'm not available. I'm not available. You should have caught me yesterday. Today, there is no doubt in me. If fear shows up, then you need to say, hey, I'm not available to you today. I'm not going to let you keep me from moving forward. I'm not going to let you keep me from persevering. I'm not going to let you keep me from being successful. And the less you become, the more life takes off. But I encourage you, stop being available. I want you to think for a moment the times was so readily available for those negative feelings or negative emotions. Think about it. Let's talk about that for just a few seconds. Let's talk about what it looked like for you when you became available to fear. What did that look like? What did that availability to fear keep you from? What did it keep you from? What about when you were too available to hurt? And when it showed up, instead of you taking your power and saying, listen, I'm not available for this anymore, what happens? Think about it for a moment, because we are too available to things that causes us detriment. We are too available to things that keep us stagnant. We're too available for things that allow us to get comfortable in the wrong places. So my challenge to you today is think about all the times that you have been too available to the wrong thing. Like I said, most of us, we have we perfected people. We know when we are being used. We know that when we're taken advantage of, and we stop answering the phone. We stop responding to texts. We stop talking to people because you realize that their intent was not pure. They had some bad motives. So you start putting up those guards and you start setting those boundaries. But then think about the internal stuff that you make yourself available to. Think about the internal trauma, the internal fears and disbeliefs and doubts and worries and all of this stuff that we inflict upon ourselves, all because we become too available. Your availability to anything or anybody is totally within your power, totally within your power. The more you are available, the less likely you will be to be the person that you were meant to be. Okay. So I encourage you, stop being so available. Stop being so available to fear. Stop being so available to worry. Stop being so available to doubt. Take back your power, take back your authority, and set those boundaries, not just to people, but to things, especially things that don't mean you well. Set those boundaries. Again, we have the external stuff where it comes from other people, whether it comes from your spouse, your partner, your lover, whether it comes from your family member, your children, people on your job, your coworkers. Think about that for a minute. We have those external things that we make ourselves too available to sometimes, and we expose our feelings and our emotions, our pockets, because people take advantage of that, and we make ourselves too available. But then we have those internal things that we make ourselves too available to, and that's those worries, those doubts, those fears, those negative thoughts that keep running to our mind. The more available you are to those things, the more they keep coming, and they perpetually come into your life. It alters your thought, it alters your speech, and it alters your life. So stop being so available. That's all. Just stop being so available to the internal stuff, the same way you're not available to the external. Learn your lesson. Learn your lesson and say, listen, I'm not going to be available to that anymore. You know, I had to do that. I had to do it for myself. And every time that I feel like I was getting to this downward spiral of woe is me, the negative mindset, I'm not available to that. I can't do that today. I'm not. I refuse to do that today. You cannot rob me of my peace. You cannot rob me of my happiness. So I'm not available. I'm just simply not available. That's it for the day. All right. That's just your thought, that nugget for something that you can chew on today. So stop being so available to your fears, to your worries, to your doubts. All right. We're going to talk again next week. Don't forget, June 22nd, I will be at Barnes and Noble for the book release and the book signing of my new book. It's only a suggestion. And I will be there at 12 noon. Hope to see you there. We'll talk again soon.